In this video, I'm going to look at some alternatives to getting extreme close-up shots without a macro lens. Macro photography is something I really enjoy doing. Getting in close and creating compositions on a very small scale. It's fantastic because it's nothing like what our eyes traditionally see. If I want to reduce the focal distance and get closer to my subject, I'm either going to need an extension tube or some macro filters. An extension tube in its simplest form is simply moving the lens further away from the sensor and reducing the focal distance, allowing you to get closer to the subject. I've got the Canon EF 12-2 extension tube, which has no glass optics in it. It allows me to use all of my EF and EF-S lenses, and it communicates metadata, autofocus and TTL flash information all to the camera. As it has no glass optics getting in the way, you retain the full image quality of your lens because it isn't introducing any additional elements. It's lightweight, compact and very easy to keep in your camera bag at all times when you need to do a quick macro shot without having to do a major setup change. Another alternative to a dedicated macro lens are macro filters. These are essentially magnifying glasses that you attach to the filter thread of your lens, and depending on the strength, will determine how close you can get to the subject. These particular macro filters are from Polaroid, and they are 1x, 2x, 4x and 10x magnification. I really like these filters because, like the extension tubes, I can always have them in my bag and I can get different levels of macro to suit the shot I am after. As you are putting a filter on the front of your lens, you will lose some sharpness, but it really isn't anything to jump up and down about. It's all well and good saying that these alternatives to having a dedicated macro lens, but how do they look in terms of image quality? This is our control image. To take this control image, I borrowed a Canon 100mm f2.8 macro lens. And this is how close I can get to the subject using that macro lens. Next is the extension tube on a Sigma 17-50 f2.8. And this is as close as I can get to the subject. And now the filters. I think macro filters are a great accessory to have in your kit bag, but I wouldn't use the 10x one because of how much it does distort the image. But the 2x and 4x filters are ones that I've used on commercial projects. In terms of ease of use, the extension tube is far easier for me to grab and get a shot with because it's so small I can just keep it in my pocket if I wanted to, so I can get a closer shot when I need to. But do they outperform a dedicated macro lens? For me, the answer, especially with the lens that I've tested them with, is no. I don't see a huge difference apart from the distance from the subject to the camera. It's just not worth it for me to go out and spend money on a dedicated macro lens, especially if I've got either the extension tube or a lens filter to hand. But a macro lens can be used for so much more than just a close-up. They make great portrait lenses and really good short telephoto lenses, so there is a lot more to them than just macro photography. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments down below, and as always, I will see you in the next video.